All the Sunbet ZX10 Masters Cup action is energised by Red Square.
Welcome to your latest 2021 edition of South African Motorsport Racing. We've got the 2021 season of the ZX10 Masters Cup coming up. It's very exciting to announce the new partnership of Sunbet online sports betting coming to partner the ZX10 Masters Cup with a sponsorship for this season. We're expecting a lot of exciting racing. We're going to be catching up with some of the key players in this deal, such as Nitesh, who is the GM of Sunbet, as well as Sanjay Singh, who is the spokesman for the ZX10 Masters Cup.
Brilliant to see all of our riders, big smiles. Sanjeev Singh looking racy, looking to pick up another podium.
Sanjeev, exciting times for the series, new title sponsor. Tell us your feelings going into the new season.
Well, morning Themba. I think we're super excited about the 2021 season of the Sunbet ZX10 Masters Cup. We're going into season 15 of the ZX10 Cup, which makes this the longest and most successful series in South African motorsport, and in fact the longest one-make series in the world. 2021 sees this awesome partnership with Sunbet. We've got a fantastic calendar, Kyle Army, all the premium tracks in the country, with a star-studded lineup including Graham van Breda, three-time champion, a contingency coming out of Cape Town. We've got riders coming out of KZN and the rest of the guys from up country. So the 2021 Sunbet ZX10 Masters Cup is going to be South Africa's premium motorsport series.
15 years is an incredible amount of time, Sanjeev. And I think what's clear is that the riders performing in the series and the riders that keep joining the series are because of the packages that you guys are on. Kawasaki and Bridgestone have had long-term partnerships with the series. Just tell us a bit more about what they've contributed to the ZX10 Masters Cup.
Themba, one of the magic ingredients in the Sunbet ZX10 Masters Cup is the ZX10R. It's won an unprecedented 6-in-a-row World Championships in the hands of Johnny Ray. We get to race those very same motorcycles. They run in stock form, they are ultra reliable, and they run very, very close to the works machines of the national riders. So that is one of the key ingredients for the success in the ZX10 Masters Cup. The Bridgestone tyres also work fantastically well. Their performance is up there with any other brand of tyre. It's a street legal tyre. It keeps costs down because the pricing is fantastic, and all the riders are on the same control tyre. So it's a second magic ingredient to the success of the series.
Sanjeev, you've highlighted the bike, the series, the riders, the amazing tyres you guys use. On a more personal note, going into, I don't know how many seasons you've done because you're just a familiar face in the paddock. Tell us about your personal 2021 season going on into the Masters Cup.
I'm super excited about the 2021 season. I finished the 2020 season on a high. I've got Double Apex and Motorcycle Center coming in behind me in 2021, so I'll have a fantastic motorcycle prepared. So I'm looking forward to the new energy in the Cup. I think we've partnered with a premium brand. I think Sunbet is a premium sports brand and a premium sports betting brand, partnered with a premium sports product. So I think that's going to bring a new energy and attract more viewers and more riders into the Cup. And I don't know where I'll finish in 2021, but I'm certainly going to give it my best.
Chris Speight, it's pretty exciting for your company, Kawasaki, to be involved with the ZX10 Masters Cup with the new sponsor involved, Sunbet.
Actually, it's a fantastic development. I mean, especially in today's times where sponsors are more and more difficult to come by, that to get involved with a company like Sunbet, with the magnitude of their group and the strength of them, I think it's absolutely fantastic. And it's going to help the class grow from strength to strength, there's no doubt about it. It's well-known, documented fact, it was Louis van Bergen's brainchild, and then Gavin and I got involved before the Great Rinderpest in 2006. And I mean, as far as I know, and everybody tells me, but I've never actually seen it documented, that it is actually the world's longest running single make series. But it's been absolutely fantastic.
Hitesh, going into 2021, exciting news for the Masters Cup, exciting news for Sunbet. Please tell us a bit more about this new collaboration.
Well, Themba, thank you very much. I think the fit is a natural one for Sunbet with the ZX10 Masters Cup. We've been watching the series with a lot of interest over many years, and the adrenaline of motorsport and the adrenaline of sports betting has a natural tie-in, and we're very excited because they're a best of breed in the motorsport category. So we think there's a natural fit between Sunbet and Sun International, and this partnership, I think, is well overdue.
I have to agree with you there, Hitesh, that between sports betting and motorsport, there's definitely a link that ties in there. One of the added benefits of joining the prestigious, ZX10 Masters Cup will be that there'll now be, access to live streaming and more exposure for the sponsor as well as the competitors.
Themba, in so much as the Sunbet partnership with ZX10 is about growing the Sunbet brand, we see it as the partnership, and we think that motorsport in South Africa being a motorsport mad country, we think that the collaboration will also allow us to grow the sport. Giving the spectators, giving the riders, giving the teams much more exposure is part of how we see this partnership growing.
So we look forward to an amazing season of racing in one of South Africa's top tier motorcycle racing categories. Hitesh, just give us your final thoughts going into the season, what you're looking forward to seeing, and we obviously look forward to seeing you at the track.
Well, Themba, I'm an ardent motorsport fan and supporter and sometimes participant myself, so I'm often at the track. I'm really looking forward to being in the pits with you guys, and I think from the partnership itself, we do intend to make the best of the relationship by really showing our colors at the track, by involving other forms of motorsport at the track. We've got a proud heritage of motorsport in this country, and Sun International has been tied in with some of the biggest brands in motorsport in the past, and this is no exception, and we certainly are looking forward to taking this partnership forward in much more visible ways on the track. It's not just a partnership in name. We really intend to be holding your hand at the track for each of the events this year.
After the break, some history from the ZX10 Masters Cup.
So clearly very exciting times ahead for the ZX10R Masters Cup, welcoming Sunbet as their new title sponsor. But let's take a look back at the history of the ZX10 Masters Cup and how it came to be the amazing class of racing that it is today.
Of the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup Championship, and as you can see, the packs, as always, are absolutely jammed to the brim, with racers rearing to get out on track.
The ZX10 Masters Cup has officially been running since 2007, making it one of the longest running single make series in the world. Its popularity is beyond dispute. Now let's catch up with Louis van Bergen, who got the ball rolling on the ZX10 Masters Cup way back when.
Well, look, I saw the gap because first of all I had a Kawasaki outlet which I'd recently acquired, and after doing Boxer Cup for a year, I saw that this sort of concept can work. And then I put this whole thing together, and I approached Chris SPEIGHT and went to go and see him, and I asked him for a demo bike, and I did a mock-up of the bike, and I took it to all the racetracks with the board saying what we're going to do and all the rest, and it snowballed. It was a huge success. Just to give you an idea, we were spannering here and doing. We put together, I think, 28 bikes in time for our first race at Kyalami, and this was obviously in 2007 actually, and we had 44 bikes on the line at Kyalami with our first race, and I thought that was just awesome. As I say, the whole deal, the timing was right, and the passion was there. And this is why it's still a success today, because they've kept it simple, you know, as simple as possible without changing rules. The whole concept was to keep it as standard as possible, so at the end of the day, it's a rider's skill to a certain extent, you know, and guys that never, it gave them an opportunity, guys that have never raced in their lives before, you know, when they were younger, had now the money at an older age. And that's why, you know, we started off at 35 years old as being the lighties or the youngsters, right up until in the 50s, you know, which I was still racing until my wings were clipped in 2008 with a bad accident.
Chris, did you see the class becoming this successful?
No, I didn't. And if I'm totally honest, which I try and be, I was a little bit skeptical in the beginning, and Louis wouldn't let this thing go. I mean, I don't know how many times he came to see Gavin Lightfoot, my technical manager, myself, with this brainchild of his, and I said, this guy's not going to go away, you know, we've just got to get involved, and we did, and as I'd like to believe we do as a company, when we commit properly, and we got involved feet first and took it from strength to strength, and it's been absolutely magnificent. And I think maybe this is not the right time to say, but I'm going to say it anyway, and you can edit it if you like, but the reality behind the ZX10 Cup has been the policing and the cost control, where it's never been allowed to become checkbook racing. In my humble opinion, that is one of the factors that's contributed to its longevity.
Also, one of the longest running sponsorships in South African motorsport is Red Square.
Well, we've been involved, I think, for over 10 years now. It's been highly successful for the brand and for Hellwood Artisanal Spirits. And we've been happy with the growth of the Red Square Reload. And to date, it's been a very professional series, the ZX10, and it's good to be involved with a bunch of professional riders. As you know, it's been going for many, many years. And the camaraderie in the ZX10 Cup is great. It's always a pleasure to do work, but you actually enjoy your work, working with the guys and watching the racing, which is very, very competitive, right through the field.
One of the past champions who raced in the series is Cape Townian Greg Dreyer.
I basically retired from the South African Superbike Championship at the end of 2004 after more than 20 years racing every single weekend overseas, and I needed a bit of a break. So I kind of stopped racing, and 2 years later, Craig Venter, one of my old sponsors, gave me a call out of the blue, and he said to me, would you be interested in riding in the ZX10 Cup? Because he was sponsoring the GT3 class at that stage, and he'd seen the bikes and he'd seen the series. So I said, sure, let's give it a go. And I flew up to Joburg and I tested the bike, and I felt very good in it. I had to put a team together fairly quickly. So I got Brad Anassis and Alfie Swanepoel to be my crew chief. And we went down to Kyalami, and I didn't really know what to expect, but all the guys took me in, guys like Louis van Bergen, Peter de Vos, Aiden Duplessis, Gerald van Heerden, Gavin Lightfoot were like all the front runners at that stage. And the camaraderie that I experienced there, and the friendliness, the seriousness that I'd been used to at the National Series was kind of gone by the wayside, and all these guys were there to have fun. So 2007, the ZX10, which we were riding, was exactly this bike, but we used to call it the wheelbarrow because of the style of exhaust pipes out the back seat. But it was a great bike. It actually fitted me really well because I'm quite tall. The engines never broke. They handled really well. We had certain rules that we had to obviously follow with the suspension, and we all had to run the same tires, which in 2007 were the Metzeler brand, if I remember correctly, the year after we changed to Bridgestones. But the bikes were fantastic. They were all evenly matched, and the series was well policed. The rules were enforced.
Welcome to Red Star Raceway for round 3
It was quite an
action.
exciting time. Racing numbers were big. We had a big field, and it was a success from the get-go, you know. The first fields were very big, and it was exciting times. We had some ex-national champions, you know, Greg Dreyer, Donnie Moritz, Gavin Ramsey. So we were in some good company there. Yeah, we learnt a lot from them, you know. They were old seasoned campaigners, been around for a long time. And a lot of the guys in the ZX10 Cup were, you know, we were rookies compared to them. So they taught us a lot, and yeah, we got on from there, you know. They've all gone away now, and the series carries on, but we learnt a lot from them, yeah. I started in 2006, the original rounds, and in 2014, I called it a day after an injury, but the series is still going, and it's going well.
Van BREDA is out front, but look out for the local man, Jason Lamb, on the brakes as they come down into Cochabana.
You can see you flick it left for the first time, so still the tyres are getting some heat into them, so you've got to be oh so ginger coming onto the front straight.
When we started, Brad Nassus managed to secure a sponsorship, as he well, you know, does, and he got hold of Greg Dreyer, and he rode with us for the year and so on. You also had Stuart McLeod at a later stage, and then thereafter Graeme van BREDA came to that. But I mean, it's been going now. My accident was in 2008, and we started in 7, so you can see the years, and it's still around. So I think it's a magnificent series, and I think the concept did it. And going the ZX10 from the most unpopular 1000cc changed everybody's mindsets, and you've probably got the best superbike at this point in time. You know, Jonathan Ray can vouch for that. Okay.
Let's catch up with your 2020 champion. It's Graeme van BREDA.
Yes, it's a series that I enjoy very much. It's a very well-run series. And the nice thing about it is that the motorcycles are all exactly the same in the series. It's a Kawasaki ZX10R. We're all on identical tyres. There's very, very few modifications to the bikes which make it standard. So I think it's pretty much equal opportunity for everybody in the Cup. You know, when you line up on that grid, you pretty much got exactly what the other guys have got next to you. And it's nice to know, you know, it's not checkbook racing, and it's not the guy on the fastest motorbike on the day will win, because all the bikes are identical, which is really good. And I think that's why it's lasted so long. Look, I rode against Stuart McLeod when I was a lot younger. I also rode against him in the ZX10 Cup. Greg Dreyer was in the series. I raced against him in the national series, but he left the Cup before I joined. Gavin Ramsey, same thing. I rode with him at nationals, but he also left before I joined. Gavin Lightfoot, I rode a year, I think, with Gavin, which was also nice. Yeah, so there's been some big names in the series. The guys basically left nationals, where we're still up to a finishing top 3 standard, and joined the ZX10 Cup. So the standard was high, you know. The standard's always been high at ZX10 Cup.
Van BREDA had many a battle with past champion Stuart McLeod.
It's really a good series with Kawasaki and Bridgestone involved. It's been going for so many years, and I've always wanted to get into that series after I retired from National Superbike. And yeah, it was a real honor to being involved in that Cup, and Johan and them are doing such a good job. Kawasaki behind them, and Bridgestone and Red Square as well, being a long-time sponsor. And yeah, I really miss the racing now, but yeah, it's getting so expensive. We're onto bicycles now, and we've got our little shop going here now at the bicycle shop, so yeah, into cycling now.
Yeah, Stu was my main opposition in those days. Graeme joined us afterwards, sort of as I was leaving and Stuart also left. So at one stage we were all 3 racing together, and we had some good races. And I think Stu won it 3 times, I won it 3 times, and I think Graham's won it maybe 3 times now. So between the 3 of us, we had some good times. But there was good racing throughout the whole field. You know, everybody had a slot, and I think there was good racing throughout the whole field, which made it good.
Right, we're waiting for the red light to go off, and we are racing 5th round of the Red Square ZX10 Masters Cup at the teaser.
It's really great to see that the series has carried on for so long. I think it started in 2006, the year before I actually started racing the series. Chris SPEIGHT, the head honcho from Kawasaki, who also helped me quite a few seasons before that, decided to start a one-make series in South Africa, and the fact that it's still going, I think it's the longest standing one-make series in the world, and it's got many new riders into the sport and older riders back into the sport, like myself and Tony Maritz, for example. He also had a go at it, you know, like everybody being on the same make, the same type, the same tyre, you know, it sort of levels the playing fields, and it also makes the racing more interesting.
As they come past their start-finish area, look at 27 Kawasaki ZX10s taking part in the Red Square Masters Cup, fly down their straight, almost 300 k's per hour.
Those guys, Gavin Lightfoot gave me a real good run for my money, and those guys are all legends in their day, and they all came from a long time back, and yeah, it was really good racing in those days. Oh, sorry, yeah, Graeme as well. He's still going, and he's just won the championship again. And also, we came from nationals together, so we really enjoyed it. I really miss it, but yeah, one day when I hit the jackpot, I think maybe I'll come back to racing again.
Clumberall's got company this time around.
Obviously, you've got different age categories for the different classes, but everybody from first place to last place, the guys are quick. You know, your average track day specialist. Not to be funny, but he would probably come last at our series. That's how high the standard is. So, yeah, everybody, you know, there are age limits, but the guys are quick. And if you look at the lap times, at the majority of the circuits where the national guys have been on the same tyres as what we are on, which is the Bridgestone tyres, I think they're pretty much only a second a lap, maybe at some circuits quicker than what the ZX10 guys are doing.
Yeah, in the beginning we sat down and put together some good rules and regulations, which I think was a good thing, you know, kept the class affordable. And even today, they've kept the same rules in place, more or less. And yeah, that's why it's working, I think.
What can I say? It's a Kawasaki. So, but I mean, but no, you're quite right. The bike has evolved over the years. It's been evolution as opposed to revolution, as you well say. But the bike has just got better and better and stronger. But it's allowed the others to still remain competitive. I think one has to take a step back. Where's racing going? You know, we looked at the MotoGP series and the condensation last year, World Superbike. I believe the same thing's going to happen this year because Phillip Island's already both been, the World Superbike's been cancelled. So I'm just hoping that apparently there are negotiations afoot in racing in general where we need to do something, because right now it's literally non-existent. But I think with careful nurture, we can get a good series back on track. And I think it will take years to recover to what it was in the past, but there's hope.
So here we've got the newest Kawasaki ZX10 compared to the old one that we used to race back in the day. This one's got 200 horsepower stock. The old one had about 155. This one has got all the granny aids, traction control, you name it, that the other one didn't have. It looks like an amazing bike to me. I wouldn't mind having a go. You know, maybe a little comeback is on the cards. But I just wanted to wish all the competitors and the series the best of luck, and to ride safe for the season and just enjoy the racing. That's what the whole spirit of the ZX10 Cup is all about, is to have fun and like safe racing, camaraderie, and enjoy the racing, guys. Thank you.
Well, it's always scary to see how some of the older guys go, especially when they're over 60 years old and they're flying and they're in the top 10. Whereas in the past, if you're in the top 10, you always thought you were very good. But lately, to be in the top 10, you really need to be going very, very fast. And especially like Jan Leroux, he's on the podiums, and I think he's one of the oldest guys on the circuit at the moment. And yeah, he's doing very well. And then Graeme from Adar, 4 times champion, and we welcome him back. Looking forward to see if he can do it again.
I'd love to see your smile, because a race double is a great way to wrap up a good year, 2020 done and
It's a new year for us in the sport and with the results, but the championship got narrowed down to I think 5 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds. So we're hoping this year it's going to be a full 10 rounds. We've got very exciting tracks on the calendar for this year. We've also got new sponsors on board. Red Square is still going to stay with the ZX10 Cup. And obviously Bridgestone and Kawasaki, our current sponsors, are staying with us. And then it's very exciting news that we've got a new sponsor on, which is Sunbet. Very reputable big company, so it's nice that they going into partnership with us. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting year. We hope for the best in the year for us, and obviously all the other competitors, we wish them all the best of luck. And we hope it's going to be close racing.
And of course, you've got to have those face masks on.
The year 2021, it's going to be great to have Red Square on board again with the ZX10 Masters Cup. And because we've been very happy with the rate of sales, the growth in the brand. And yes, so we're really looking forward to this racing season, and we look forward to seeing you there.
So the season kicks off on the 20th of March at Killarney in Cape Town. And great news for this year, we have 2 rounds at Kyalami on the 28th and 29th of August.
All the Sunbet ZX10 Masters Cup action is energised by Red Square.